Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf, and welcome back to Either, a game of preference. It's been a little while since I've done this, and quite frankly, I am exhausted because, I don't know, for those of you who watch the channel a decent amount, you may know by now that I'm going to London for quite a while. I leave, mid to early September, and I get back, just late or mid-December, something like that. So I'm gonna be gone for a while. But, the amount of preparation that goes into that is intense. It's crazy. And I've been doing it all day. It's exhausting. But, so I'm gonna get a little bit of relaxing would you rather action going on down here because I don't have the energy to do anything but just calmly explain things. So, I'm gonna get right into it. Would you rather always have bad hair or always have bad teeth? Well, I mean, people are going to see my hair a lot more than people are going to see my teeth. So I would probably just say always have bad teeth. Then again, having bad teeth would probably lead to more health problems than having bad hair. So I guess it's a matter of aesthetic rather than practicality. And if you also think about it, having bad teeth, you're gonna have bad breath as well, most likely. But I guess if you have bad hair, then you're probably gonna... that might smell either way. I guess if you have bad hair, you can just... if you have bad hair, you can just cover it up with a hat, yeah? Unless you've got, really long hair. As much as I like my hair more than my teeth, I would probably say rather always have bad hair just because that would have less, bad consequences. Yeah. Would you rather be famous in this lifetime or go down in the history books? Ooh, that's an interesting question because it's... okay, would you rather have a legacy or would you rather live to see your fame? It's basically what it's saying. Quite frankly, I mean... I don't really have any particular interest in... being, having a legacy or anything. I don't really find myself to be someone worthy of being put in a history book. And so, I'd rather just, I don't know if I'd say be famous, but I'd rather, be recognized because it feels good whenever you go up and someone knows who you are. So... I mean, I don't really put much value in having a legacy, so probably say be famous now. Yeah, that was pretty split. I'm not very surprised by that. Would you rather be unable to experience sadness or be unable to experience anger? This is another hard one, because if you can't experience sadness, then you can't grieve when you need to, like if a loved one dies or something. But if you're unable to experience anger, then you're not going to be able to, defend yourself as well. Of the two of them, though, I think sadness is more important. Because, you need to be able to grieve when things happen. And so I think that's if you're not able to do that, you're not going to be as healthy. So I'd probably say be unable to experience anger. Plus, I feel like anger causes more problems than sadness does. Well, not necessarily. What I mean is anger, a lot of the time anger causes more problems that you can't get out of as easily. Sadness, it's a lot easier to get help with sadness than it is for anger, because if you get angry, then a lot of the time you confront people and then they get angry back. And so it's kind of easy for that to spiral out of control. If you had your choice of a portable game device, would you rather choose a Nintendo DS or choose a PSP? Ooh. I do not have a PSP, although I have played on quite a few of them. I have a Nintendo DS, I have a Nintendo 3DS as well. I would probably say Nintendo DS. While there are certain games for the PSP that I wish could be on the Nintendo DS, the amount of history I have with Nintendo, in terms of Pokemon and Mario and stuff like that, I don't think I could really pass that up, having experienced it in the past. So I'd probably say Nintendo DS. If you knew you were going to fail a test, would you rather rip up the exam paper or walk out laughing? Well, either way, you're gonna look terrible. If you walk out laughing, then you just look like a jerk. And if you rip up the exam paper, then you just look like a twat. Or like a whiny little baby. I mean, it's a matter of, do you want to be seen as someone who has a short temper, or do you want to be seen as someone who doesn't give a crap? I guess I'd rather rip up the exam paper just because I'd like to at least show that I care. Because if you walk out laughing, then you're showing that you don't care, and so people aren't going to want to work with you. Whereas if you rip up the exam paper, then you'll be more likely at least to get assistance. Because both ways you're going to get noticed. But walking out laughing, you're going to get noticed as someone who is unhelpable. But if you get noticed for ripping up the exam paper, then I would assume this would be in the fashion of you're so frustrated that you can't pass the test. So I'd say, wow, most people want to walk out laughing. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe it's you rip up the exam paper and just walk out silently or something, but I don't know. I read that as you rip up the exam paper in frustration. Which superpower would you rather? Alright, would you rather have? Superhuman memory, ability to retain all information you learn, or teleportation? Ooh, that's tough. Being able to teleport would be extremely convenient, and it would save a lot of time. And it would also matter on what the boundaries of said teleportation are. It doesn't have any, added clauses, so I would assume that just means you can teleport anywhere. In which case, I already have a decent memory. So, I feel like the sheer practicality of teleportation would be better. Would you rather be allergic to babies or allergic to elderly people? I'd rather be allergic to babies, just because elderly people have, the mental know-how and maturity to, acknowledge you and stuff like that. Babies, not really. So it'd be easier to, it'd be less consequential to stay away from babies because it's not like they're gonna remember it. Hardly. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I never was a baby person. Toddlers I could deal with just fine. I love toddlers, but, babies I just can't deal with. All that goo goo gaga stuff. Maybe it's just because in my family, my family tends to, not really my immediate family, but my extended family, as a whole kind of tends to fawn over babies a lot and have the if you think about the one family member at the family reunion that's got an iPad that's Skyping their 2-year-old with a babysitter or something, showing it around to every single person at the table, that's my family. That's my extended family. So I've never been big on babies. I can't really do that. Would you rather poop rainbows or vomit rainbows? Vomiting rainbows would probably be easier to deal with, so I'm gonna do that. If you had to choose a superpower, would you rather have night vision or heightened senses in smell and hearing? I would rather have heightened senses in smell and hearing. Because if you have night vision, that extends your one sense of sight. But if you have heightened senses in smelling and hearing, then you have 3 heightened senses. Or rather, you have, I guess if you don't count our sight already as being really good, then this is a choice between having 1 extended sense or 2 extended senses. And so just from a mere value perspective, it'd be better to have good smelling and hearing. Because say you have night vision, but then you get blindfolded or something. It's okay, well then your eyes aren't gonna help you there. If you have heightened senses in smelling and hearing, and your nose gets plugged or something, then you can still hear, you can still see. You get blindfolded and you have your nose is plugged or something. They'd have to do more to you to actually stop you from having your senses, your heightened senses. Would you rather not brush your teeth for a month or not shower for a month? Not brush my teeth, because that's a smaller portion of my body that would be unhealthy, rather than just having my entire person not clean. So I'd probably choose the teeth, yeah. Would you rather eat a Big Mac every 6 hours or eat an exquisite meal once every 4 days? Is this the only food I'm allowed to eat? Like, are we going Super Size Me style here? I'd probably say eat an exquisite meal once every 4 days. Because I'm reading this as, like, I guess I'll read this in the way of either you are forced to eat a Big Mac for every 6 hours, or the only exquisite meals you can eat are once every 4 days. In which case, I would be eating less favorable things daily anyway. So it would be almost as equivalent in terms of how bad it is as eating a Big Mac every 6 hours. I wouldn't be eating exactly a Big Mac, though. I'd just be eating, like, equally less favorable food. And then I would get an exquisite meal every 4 days. So that seems like the obvious choice to me. Yeah. Would you rather never watch baseball again or never watch football again? Oh god, is this talking about American football or are we talking about real football? I mean, probably baseball. I don't really care much about baseball, but I like both football and American football, so get mad at me if you want. Would you rather be a contestant on Wheel of Fortune or be a contestant on Jeopardy? I feel like Wheel of Fortune would be more enjoyable. Because with Jeopardy, you, like, need to practice your trivia, or, like, you might get frustrated if you, like, are unable to do something on there. Whereas Wheel of Fortune, it's like, it's luck, mostly. Like, other than, like, the solving of the puzzles, which isn't nearly as hard as, like, Jeopardy questions. Like, I feel like Wheel of Fortune would be so much better. Yeah. Not a hard one there. Constantly stumble when walking or constantly stutter when speaking? Alright. I'd probably rather constantly stumble, just because communication is a very important thing. And, like, if there's an emergency or something, like, you could call someone and say what you need to say. That said, if there's an emergency and you need to run away, it'd be harder to do so if you stumble. But, I mean, between those two evils, I feel like speaking is a much more necessary thing, so I'd say constantly stumble. Worst case scenario, you'll just, like, take a bus or a scooter or something, yeah? Would you rather get gas every time you are around the sex you are attracted to, or burp after every time you kiss? Probably get gas every time you're around the sex you're attracted to, because if I think about this from my perspective, it would be, okay, every time I see an attractive female, then I get gas. Or every time I kiss someone, I burp. But if I get gas, that doesn't mean that I'm, like, that I have to fart. It's like, okay, it would be really uncomfortable to hold in, or you could do that classic thing where you, like, silently try and pass it, or you could just do what I do and say, please excuse me for a moment, walk out the door, fart, and then come back inside. Like, but then again, you'd be resetting it and you'd get gas again. So, I don't know. I feel like, but then if I think about it, if you would be attracted to the person you're kissing, and so you would have gas anyways when you're kissing someone. Okay, that's awkward. In that case, maybe burp after every time you kiss, because you're not burping during the kiss. And burps are kind of easy to like conceal slightly. So I guess burp after you kiss, because if you get gas every time you're around the sex you're attracted to, whenever you're going to kiss someone, you would have gas as well, and that would be equally uncomfortable. So yeah, burping. Oh, pretty close. Would you rather master every programming language or master every spoken language? Spoken language, definitely. I'm studying spoken languages, and that is very much so what I would prefer. Would you rather get 4 hours of sleep per night or 15 hours of sleep per night? Ooh. 4 hours of sleep means that you don't get enough sleep, but you have more time to do stuff. But 15 hours of sleep, you'd like waste most of your day, but you'd be fully rested. That's actually kind of a tough one. I'll leave this one for you guys. So I want you guys to tell me in the comment section what you do about this one. As for what I would do, I'd probably say get 4 hours of sleep per night, just because I've done that before, and it's not comfortable and it's not fun, but like you can function off of it. Not very well, but like you can at least function. If you get 15 hours of sleep per night, then you're like missing literally over half of the day, and so you miss out on a ton of stuff. So I'd rather live my life tired rather than live half of my life. So I'll go with that one. It's like, oh, looks like I'm in the minority, but let me know what you guys think. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section down below. I will always read them, and I'll always take them into account. And as always, I will see you guys next time for another episode of Would You Rather, or Either, or whatever you want to call it.